As I mentioned when I finished the last video in the series, I was getting some issues trying to display this image, as you see here on our services page, which we're trying to, at this point, style. The issue was finding the field and then appending the full URL to it. And turns out you have to go ahead and assign a variable to get the section image field in our YAML file, which is right there, and do this toFile function or method on it, and that will ultimately generate the object that we need, and then we can grab the URL off of it. So after a little digging on my end, I had to go ahead and do that, and here I entered a alt tag based on the title of the site and then the title of the page. With that done, we're basically ready to go ahead and style this page. In the next video or two, I'll probably integrate this form into probably Wufoo forms. There are other Kirby plugins you can get that are basically PHP forms that work great, but to me, I don't really want to spend my time doing a ton of validation on a form that I know will work with Wufoo. And in this case, I think we'll just kind of, reuse the form itself on probably the contact form or something like that, something of that nature. So we can go ahead and integrate that, and Wufoo will take care of, I guess, the hard stuff. Let's go ahead and style this up. The main thing we need to do, I'll start from the top to the bottom, is make this look more like our design, of course, which is this. So we've got the top part is centered, and there's that little decorative element we've been adding all over the place. So let's go ahead, and I think what I'll do with this is create a new row and do that. And we can hopefully just do a center access class on this, and it should shift to the center. Am I in the wrong section? Yeah, my bad. This needs to be in our services file, not the form. So let's go to our intro snippet. And we'll do that here. Row, center access. There we go. And we can start styling it from there. This could be like 6. I want that to be a certain width. Then we have that issue. So if I do a call, there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and create a style sheet and get that rolling on our assets folder, SAS, partials, pages, and services. We'll create a new folder. All right, so with this, we can go ahead and create, I know I'll need a separate service style sheet, and then we'll do the form style sheet. I'm just gonna go ahead and create all these in advance. I think that should do it. So let's import those. And services needs to be imported to our actual page style sheet here. So we'll do that. All right, so we should be set. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the services style sheet, and we'll grab, what do we got here? Services, intro. We'll say services, intro. And page title, subheading. So for this, I definitely don't want the margin on the bottom that we have. I think it's there, possibly not. Okay. There we go. It was just kind of cached for some reason. Okay, so the subheading I think looks pretty good as is. So let's go ahead and add that before element. Now I notice I've been repeating this style, so I'm probably going to go back and refactor and make a mix-in for it. I think that'd just be way easier and reusable like we were doing. So we need to first make sure this is positioned relative. And this will be absolute. So I think we did a height of 4 and a width of 50. Background of our brand primary color. Okay, and then top is like negative. I'll do and then margin left, negative 25 pixels. So what we did there, we went left halfway based on the containing elements. So because it's positioned relative, it's using this box around this guy, which you can see there, that box, to, I guess, assign its params. So we go left 50%, but then the actual element's 50 pixels, so it goes a little extra. So in theory, if you just divide that number and do a negative margin on it, it should center itself. So here, since that width is 50, you do a margin left at negative 25. It's kind of a little trick there. It's an easy way to center content within a div as well. If you've ever wondered how to do that, that's kind of the route to go. Cool, so now I can move on to our columns here. So I'm gonna go to the service, do row, service content. I'm gonna go ahead and rename those to service, I think. So we go back to snippets, services, service blocks, service. And I'm gonna call that here. So our background with these will be white, and do something like so. Wondering how I can make them divided like they are. I'm thinking I have to, I guess I'll go back to this, have the service class to that, and revert this to that. So I'll need to change okay. Sort of like that. This has too much padding. There we go. And the actual block, we want box shadow on, just a very light one. And I think it'll be like 3 and 8 or something. It's a little too much. I think that works. I might go down in the spread there. Bring this back. I kind of liked how it was. There we go. Okay. Go that route. All right, so our titles themselves are considerably bigger. What do we got? It's about 30 pixels according to this, so that's going to increase. Let's get our classes in order. Service title, service list. So font size, we'll do like 1.5 rem there. Okay, we'll go much larger. Okay. And a little thing I want to do just to make sure this is good. Let's go into each of these. See if we can get away with this. It's kind of a hacky thing, but I don't know that I'm going to go with this though, because it appears here and it looks junky. But it does render right, so I think I can live with it. Okay. So we'll roll with that. Margin bottom, we'll decrease that. And we'll do, again, the before dealio like I had here. I'll just honestly copy this. You know what, while we're at it, let's see how it looks first before I go and think what I'm gonna do is make a mix in. If I can spell relative. Okay, so these in particular don't need to go left, they're centered. Okay, they do need to go, what do we use, 3 rem, since we use that padding. I guess less. Oh. There. That was weird. Actually, I will leave this as is because I want to tweak the heights of these. And each one's going to need a different color, so we're actually going to need to find a way to get the slug out into a class. So we could just do page, or wait, we can just do service slug, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so page title, and then in SAS you can just go like this, brand strategy, do your stuff, campaign, development. The only issue here is if she changes those headings, so maybe we won't do that. And we'll use nth child, so maybe nth child 1. So I'm going to leave the background off of that. Because in our design there's 3 different colors. That's That's what I should have said that first. So let's see if this works first off. Oh, we are on the wrong element. You guys are probably screaming at me. Ah. Service, here we go. So this, do that. Okay, so we're doing the title. I need to do int child and before. Ooh, this is getting deep. Let's see if that works. Okay, I think that will work. So let's target it here. I don't think it is working. Oh, okay, I think I know why. Instead of inside the service title, this is getting confusing. So if we go into service, and then we can go service title. It's a lot of nesting. I don't like that, but there we go, that worked. So it looks confusing, but what we're doing is selecting each service by its child, like basically the DOM kind of stuff, instead of using an actual name. In WordPress, you could probably use an ID and get away with this, but in this case, if she were to change the title of these, which she probably will at some point, I do want to be able to still target it with CSS. So in this case, that's what we're doing. So we're going by 1, which is obviously 1, 2, 3. And then you go and access the title element on each, and then do it before, and then set that background, since we set the default here to be that color. So what I need to do now is make that middle one the green, I believe, that we used. Oh, we've got them off. So the first one's that one, that one, that one. Let me figure out what color code this is. So the last will be this color. The second is still brand primary. The first is secondary. Voila, cool. Okay, so the service list is just a P tag, I believe, with break tags. Yeah, so the P, maybe I could do like a line. Yikes. And it's a little much. I think if we just tone down the size a bit, it would look a little more natural. Kind of looks off to me. Yeah. And this line height's a little tight, so I might adjust that as well. Like so, and then we can probably add 3 rem, 2 rem, probably keep 3 on the top. See how it looks in our design. Now that's kind of unique or uniform. I think that'll work. Tweak it just a little bit. There we go. I like that. And the whole thing needs to come down just a tad. So did I give the whole thing a services intro row? I guess I could go ahead and do that. Services block. I'll do that here. Services block padding. Yeah. There we go. This is a little not tall enough, so let's see what 2 looks like. There we go, I think that's better. Okay, so now we need to add those images at the bottom. Notice looking at this, we need more space, so we're gonna have to probably throw quite a bit on the bottom here, just to give it some room. Now that we can access each nth child, we can do a background URL, images, brand strategy icon, SVG, no repeat. I want to be explicit here. I like being that way with this stuff. It's more typing, but it's clearer, and you don't have issues later on if you have to like do something dynamically. You don't have to like throw an important crap on there. Like that CSS is crap, so you don't want to. If you have to do that, something's not right, in my opinion. So, word to the wise. Oh. .174 by 182. We can make it whatever, but I'm starting there. And it looks like, I'm wondering why it's behind it. Oh, it's because I set background on this. Are we gonna have to do nth child? Oh no, we just need to go service content. I'm not doing this very dry, but it's working. So that's kind of what we want there. So it turned out. So in this case, we'll do repeat that there. Like in Sass, you could probably set variables for all this shit and loop through it, but I'd have to research it. I don't use tons of loops because it's just not, I don't know, I don't have a huge need for them all the time, so it's not in the back drawer for me to always use. But some people would go out of their way to do that, and that's cool to me. It's not absolutely crucial though, because at the end of the day, it still compiles to the same CSS for the most part. Now these are going to have different sizes, so I need to go into this one, get rid of this garbage, save it, and we got 184 by 139. Awesome. And this one's going to be its own size too. What are we at? Content marketing. 162 by 213. Bam. Okay, so that's still aren't They still aren't quite high enough in height. And it looks like this comes off the bottom some in our design. So I'll probably do that. A little with that one too. So instead of bottom, you should probably keep right, and then bottom will do like 10 pixels. Okay, that's wrong. I'm thinking this is XY coordinates, so we need what is 0, 0? Okay, so if we do okay. So it's going from the top. I wonder if it does top, bottom, left, right. Okay, we'll roll with that. This one actually looks pretty good, to be honest, so I think that should be good. So the next part, we will go ahead and tackle this form. I'm going to try to get Wufoo integrated as well. If we don't do it in that video, we will later. But at this point, we're just going to at least get the styles rolling. So I will see you in the next one.